Welcome back, everybody. As promised, this is me, and we will be going through the
There's a part
Cyclops
of the
Alley
city
today.
we contracted out to the Cyclops Legion, appropriately called Cyclops Lane. But their leader, General Achilles, proclaimed an edict outlawing all things with more eyes than he, and forced all residents out of their homes. It's strange. Achilles always seemed an honorable fella, without insecurities about his ocular limitations. No idea what could have changed his mind. Professor Cyrus Drake took this personally, as he and Achilles go back a ways, and yes. Professor Cyrus Drake took this personally, as he and Achilles go back a ways, and sent his student to investigate. Let's see, I wrote his name down. Yes. Nolan... Wait. Stormgate? That can't be right. Anyway, find a kid on Cyclops Lane and, well, help them.
Jeez, I spoke too early. All right. And then we'll go through and do that. Alrighty. So yeah, let's go over here.
Oh, good. Professor Drake sent me another assistant. Hurry, this way. We can talk safely over here.
Oh, that's right. It's been long enough to where... Do I want to get him out real quick? Nah.
There. Much better. Hopefully you're more useful than my other assistants. Lazy layabouts just run off. My fellow students and I came to confirm the successful thwarting of the Cyclops rebellion. But there's a problem. The thwarting was unsuccessful. Which should be impossible. Professor Drake handled this problem as any conjurer would. He summoned trolls and minotaurs to deal with it for him. But these lumbering trolls and minotaur warhorns don't seem to be working. They're just wandering around in circles. We could report that to Professor Drake, but I see a spark of ambition in you. Let's knock this. That will certain. We could report that to Professor Drake, but I see a spark of ambition in you. Let's knock the sense back into these beasts ourselves, yes? That will certainly earn us some extra credit. You go battle trolls and I'll handle the warhorns.
Alrighty, so welcome back, everybody, to the 100% Life Guide, debunking the myth of spirit schools not being good for Wizard101, using the
I don't
rated...
care for these trolls. They keep making horribly mean, often inscrutable and poorly structured comments to strangers. For no reason, just to pick fights. They're making the whole community of Cyclops Lane really angry and toxic. Can you go teach these trolls some proper community etiquette?
I've got to stop starting a quest line in the middle of my thoughts. So 100% guide with the rated worst school possible in the game, the Life Wizard.
Hey there, Wizard! I see you've been helping out. Mighty grateful we are. Emerson and I have to stay around here to protect Nolan. Yeah, but don't tell the boy I said that. Anyway, it means I haven't been able to go visit the armorer Rand Tamor to get my uniform patched up. If you see him out in the street, mind asking him to lend me a hand? Thanks.
Yeah, so I really have never... I don't hate any of the schools. I do believe certain schools are harder, but what's a game without difficulty? So I never really thought any school deserved hate. For me, the hardest school is actually surprisingly fire. You know, you'd think, oh, hitting school, it should be great, right? Nope.
Sweeney needs new armor again? You know those guard suits are designed to last 100 years. Somehow, that guy goes through them every month. First time, okay. He jumped down a dragon's throat to rescue a student. Understandably causes some wear and tear. But the 8th or 9th time? Let's see if we can't make him something a little sturdier. I hear the armor of the skeletal warrior sealed in the dark cave is enchanted. And the suit coats of the rotting fodder are also pretty special. Defeat the skeletal warriors and rotting fodder, and bring back what you find.
I'll be. This man jumped down the throat of a dragon to save a student. Private Sweeney, man. I think we got the best guard of all time right here. Yeah, look at that. Alright. So, let me think. Yeah, no, I don't really get the hate any of the schools. My personal worst school to play is Fire, and that's because even though I have a 152 Fire, I have to say it's really struggling through Novus right now. And I don't see how I'm going to get around that. And it's not even anything bad. It's just when I was doing Lemuria, when I was doing what's before Lemuria? Not Imperia. I don't know, but when I was doing Lemuria, I was having no trouble. It'd be Triple Blade Dragon kills everything. Now Triple Blade Dragon barely does half damage, and I'm like, ooh, that's a serious power jump. So it just means I need to reevaluate how I'm going to play, how I'm going to play Fire and Novus, and figure out what I could possibly do. One thing I could do is I could go through and go back to single attacking. Single attacking is great, especially on Fire. They've got more single attacks than I can count that do massive amounts of damage. I mean, while yes, Storm has Storm Owl, which is the second strongest single attack in the game. For non-shadows, maybe. I don't know. I have to go through and re-look at the spells. Ice Beetle should kill. I do believe that there is potential for single attacking through Novus that might work, because FFA is great. Shadow FFA is even better. I have to go through and figure out how to increase my shadow rating, which usually means that once I hit 160, I'll get Aeon gear, and that should usually increase my shadow. Merciless gear surprisingly has no shadow rating, which is quite annoying if I think about it. I've not lost any health. And look at me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm over here trying to do 100% guide, and then I'm rambling on about my Fire. Okay, anyway, so back to my life. Yeah. So we go through, and we're doing Cyclops Lane. Cyclops Lane is actually one of the easier, I'd say probably the easiest of the 3 streets to actually go through and start. It's a very simple quest line. It's like maybe 10 quests long, max. In fact, all of Wizard City can be summed up into 37 quests. But, of course, we're doing side quests, which of course doubles that number.
You're not as easy to capture as other students were. Now General Achilles let trolls go hungry.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's of the 3 streets possible, Cyclops Lane is the easiest, then Triton Avenue, then Firecat Alley. And I only say that because Firecat Alley is fire, and they like to spam fire elves, and it's just...
Oi! One of the trolls came up to me and apologised for being so mean and saying me spear looks like a cheap fireplace poker.
God, I love those 2008 insults.
Hopefully, the trolls will be back under Professor Drake's control soon. In the meantime, though, at least they're being civilized.
Alrighty, and level 6, yay.
What? The trolls summoned to defeat the Cyclopses have joined up with them and captured my student assistants? What did you do? Never mind, never mind. This is no time for recriminations. That will come later. Now we must figure out how this happened. Myth minions cannot just turn on their masters. It's against their code of honor, or laws of physics, or whatever. There's something strange afoot. I think our best course of action is to tell a grown-up. Report the situation to Professor Drake, while I remain and bravely hold the line. Make sure to mention that I'm still here, bravely holding the line while the other students are busy talking and getting captured.
You can get to Ravenwood and back. Use the Return to Commons button to get back to the Commons, and then head to Ravenwood.
I have to say, Nolan Stormgate, I gotta choose my words carefully not to insult him. He got swallowed up by his own Humungo Frog spell. And he's like, in the basic school sense, I put him on par with the puffed up nerd trying to be a jock. So
Yes, yes, trouble on Cyclops Lane, something students. Oh, you're one of those fast talkers, aren't you? Lovely. Let me save you the trouble of breathlessly barking and dancing about like a dog reporting a mishap in a well. I already know everything. And I need you, yes you, to help me save Cyclops Lane. Are you up to it? Splendid. Then quickly, go to Victor Darkwood in the shopping district. He will give you an item of great importance. Bring it back to me.
yeah, so Victor Darkwood's the resident clothier, I guess he would be a seamster, right? Not a seamstress, I don't know what they call male seamstress. That's an interesting thought I've never thought about. You know, knowing how to sew your own clothes, of course, is a good thing to learn for anybody. And it's just, you don't even have to use it in modern day society, but, you know, those survivalists will tell you if you ever go out camping, ever go and want to go and disappear for a bit, knowing how to do basic things like sew your own clothes, hunt, and other things is
Welcome
really
to
important.
Darkwood's Apparel Barrel, where shopping for apparel's more fun than Monkistons in a barrel.
So-
Professor Drake sent you, eh? Which one? The mean one or the evil one? Cyrus? Aye, he's the mean one. The old Death Professor Malistaire, oi, that's his brother. Always wear a grumpy pair. Can't say I mind there being one less around these days. Anyway, here's the old Grump's package. All his laundry clean, pressed, and folded correctly. No matter what he says.
Yeah, my myth gets to deal with his personality a lot, and I have to say, I do believe Cyrus Drake is most like Professor Snape in Harry Potter, which is an entire ordeal. So, in fact, most of the professors of magic have similar modern day media adaptations. So you have, of course, Professor Ambrose, who's Merlin Ambrosius. Then you have Cyrus Drake, who's a PG Professor Snape. And then you have...
Well, that certainly took you long enough. No doubt Victor folded my robes improperly as well. Why do you continue raving about Cyclops Lane? The situation is well in hand. I sent an army of trolls to ensure as much. The trolls are revolting, you say? Yes, that is a problem, and it must be dealt with harshly. Take this note to Headmaster Ambrose at once.
Okay. And then, of course, you've got other references that don't really have the professors like modern-day adaptations, but what they represent and how they, like, it's just a loose representation. So, of course, you have Malistaire Drake being the Death Professor, and I'm here real quick. I should just go and buy a quick mount. Oh, they're 1,000 points. Okay. Yeah, when I get my first 50,000, I can go in here and I can get any one of the ponies. But I think what I might actually do is I haven't run a Bengal Tiger in a long time, so I might just run that.
I will not expel you. I realize Professor Drake takes particular umbrage at the trolls are revolting joke, but this is simply too far. You mean to say the trolls he sent to Cyclops Lane are revolting in the combative sense? Oh dear, he must remedy this at once. Don't worry, young wizard. Professor Drake may seem callous, but he is not his brother. Impress upon him the severity of the issue, and he will help.
Yeah. No, so I do believe that this game has... I am losing my place a lot because I'm trying to figure out what needs to be talked about. So this is a 100% guide. We're doing Cyclops Lane.
You're still here? The trolls are rebelling, Captured some students, you say? Nolan behaving bravely? I don't believe you. Although, thinking about it, Wizard City is old and holds many ghosts with strange powers not commonly practiced today. It's not impossible such a spirit may have a way to enthrall my minions, though General Achilles would have neither means nor motive to summon one. What's that? Yes, Malistaire would. I heard you met him. Well, he and Achilles are old comrades. Who knows what dark powers he gave the Cyclops?
Oh.
All I can do is guide you. Whatever my brother summoned to disrupt my magic will be with Achilles. Find it, destroy it, and save the students. Also, make sure young Master Stormgate doesn't get swallowed by his own humongo frog again.
If you marked your location, click the recall button to return to your mark.
So let's think. What is something we haven't talked about? We could talk about the PvP changes. That is always interesting. Which PvP changes requires me to go into development. So they added a whole bunch of those.
Professor Drake said to tell me not to get eaten. I knew deep down he really cared, and he's trusted me to save Cyclops Lane. So then, if the students were kidnapped by trolls, and the trolls work for the Cyclopsi, then a Cyclops should know where the students are. Therefore, my first order of business is to have you go fight Cyclopsicles until one tells you where the students are.
Okay, sturdy blade. We'll go ahead and equip that. just get some help. All right. Why do I have to go to Harold Argleston? Okay. So let's actually talk about Spellmans. Spellmans is a new feature that actually came out not too long ago in the grand scheme of things. This game's been out for nearly 18 years now. This game just became an adult. When you played, when you were there for their 16th, if your account was 16 years old, I think it was if your account was 16 years old, when the 16th anniversary came through, you got a free car mount, which was super funny. And then, we don't need that, and I'm gonna use that. So that was actually really funny, but yeah, 18 years in the grand scheme of things. I think we're closer to actually around, I want to say 3 years of using Spellmans, which isn't bad. 3 years Spellmans. They just did a massive Spellman change too, to where all unlocks are now permanent. It used to be where you could just swap between Spellmans, and that was good for PvP, but it was actually bad in the grand scheme of things because it basically told people, hey, you don't have to farm. Even though people should farm. People should try and 100% the game. It is just something that happens. And then you go through and you're like, okay, how do I do that? And I go through. Spellmans start dropping in Crocotopia. However, you'll get your... you'll go through and you'll get enough Spellmans for each mainline school spell. So that means every spell you get from a quest and all your basic attacks. So imps, leprechauns, nature's wrath. You won't get blades and stuff, but alright, you're gonna kill that guy. I'm gonna kill this guy. And so you'll go through and you'll get enough to upgrade them at least once. Now, how you upgrade them is completely up to you, whether or not you want to use the Spellmans to do specialized spells, or if you just want to increase damage. Ay. We just have like a bunch of people joining us, and it's... Oh my god. It's okay. It's okay. And that guy's missing a whole bunch of health. Like, what in the world? And so, we'll go through all the life Spellmans, and then as soon as we're fully done with Wizard City, that means all 3 streets, Colossus Boulevard, Sunken City, the main quest lines, and all I have left to do is move on to Crocotopia. Then we can go through, and I will go through and I will hop on each of my characters, and I will do an entire episode on each school. So that's how that's going to work out, is we'll go through, and after Wizard City is done, we'll go through each school, benefits, disadvantages, certain niches they play in, Spellmans, gear sets. That's going to be an entire thing. Gear sets are really good. I'll go through those on my fire. And then, of course...
All right. The students are in the dark cave. We had the trolls deliver them. Because there's nightmares in there. No sane Cyclops can endure.
Yeah, so then you can go through, and those will be part of the just a little. Wait, where am I going? Oh. Those will just happen right after Wizard City, but they'll also have their separate playlists on YouTube where it's just the tutorial section. And I'll go through, and even though I'm going to be talking about this throughout the main storyline, I'll go through and repeat everything I've said.
You have to get us out of here. Those zombie creatures have the talisman to dispel these bubbles. Get it from them, please.
And I'll do entire videos based on one aspect of the game, so that way, and that'll just be the tutorial side, so there'll be a playlist dedicated on that. And then of course there's this one, which will have everything. So yeah, and then we go through and we're just kind of going through Cyclops Lane right now. There's not really much about Cyclops Lane that people need to know about. It's just a simple quest line that you can go through. I find it easier just to I find it easier that when you're going through and you're battling these rotting fodders to use your second rank spell. So spells have ranks. Ranks are directly correlated to the amount of pips they use. So your second rank spell will always use 2 pips. And I find when fighting any of these rotting fodders, skeletons, whatever, it's always just better to burn a spell and then use your second pip spell.
Fine. Take the talisman. Free the miscreants.
Did I
but you
get
will all be
the...
chow for the Great One, whose gaze enthralls and whose teeth destroy.
Yeah. So we're gonna be fighting these guys for a while, it looks like, because this quest is still one of the quests that doesn't have a guaranteed drop of collecting. And it's really annoying that it's the only one that doesn't have it. But, I mean, we can't change that. That would be up to the devs. Is that a vampire?
You've just received a pet snack. You can feed pet snacks to your pet after it completes a training game.
There's the suit coats. Now I just need the armor. Yeah. Yeah. And if you look, 235, so I need to swap my wand out. Now, that's something that's going to be interesting to deal with. Is this one gives 5 accuracy, but I don't like how it doesn't give. Excuse me. I don't like how it doesn't give any 0 pip, 0 rank spells. I mean, I have Minor Blessing. Minor Blessing is always good, but just like a 0 pip, a rank 0 attack spell is also nice. Because I have my 0 rank heal. And we'll Leprechaun finish it off. Yeah. I always worry about time when we...
Oh, thank you!
When I
thought
do...
for sure the spirits here were going to possess us and make us dance to catchy, upbeat music. It's my worst fear. I don't know what happened. The trolls just grabbed us and sealed us in bubbles to become vessels for the Great One, whatever that means. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd very much like to flee in terror.
Okay. I don't know, I feel like when doing 100% guides, it's easy to kind of lose track of time as you go through in 100% complete an area. So I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible, but also if I see anything that kind of reminds me of something that we need to talk about, I go through and I talk about it. And, you know, spellments is one thing. Spellments, they upgrade your spells. They're extremely hard to farm. Well, they're not hard to farm. Okay. Spellments are tedious to farm. And that's only until Portal Peril comes around. So Portal Peril is something that used to happen a lot more frequently. Now it happens about once a month. And, so you go through and you're like, okay, what do I do? And I didn't kill. Jeez. The entire debate of spellments just bothers me a little bit because people aren't willing to farm it, but it's actually really easy to farm. Especially with Portal Peril. Portal Peril gives you the ability to get these tokens. Oh, I forgot the bubble over here. And the tokens are decent, you know? I mean, you gotta specifically... I showed them in the last episode, but you gotta specifically go through and for crowns only players, you'll get 2.
Did you see all these gnarly ghosts? Oh, yeah. Well, Cyrus said they were sealed in this cave by his bro back in the day. Something with power over the dead broke him out, though. Oh, I bet it was Malorn. Dude's always been jealous of my raw cool. Oh, you think Malister did it? Didn't he blow up with a death school or something? Yeah, whatever. Going out to get some rays.
Excuse me. Sorry. And then you go through and you're like, okay, so Portal Peril for Crowns users will get you 2 tokens a day. That is enough tokens to do the entire event. It is. You know, if you used your 2 tokens every single time and you won every single time, you could easily complete the event. Members get 4 tokens and...
At last! Let me guess, Nolan sent you to do his work for him? That is such a myth wizard thing to do. Or maybe it's just him. I'll get everyone to safety. Find us back by Nolan and we can discuss next steps.
And, you know, members get 4 tokens a day, which allows from a little wiggle room, but it also just gets you an extra 30 tokens a day, which is normal, you know, 30 tokens, that's enough for a bunch of spellments, it's enough for 30 lore spellments, and you go through and you're like, okay, well, what do I do? And then you go through, you team up, you always team up, and you'll get level boosted.
Everyone safe? Good. Now we need to finish the job the trolls and Warhorns started. We need to defeat General Achilles. I don't know what dark influence Achilles found in this cave or how it lets him disrupt control of Professor Drake's minions, but it doesn't matter.
I feel like it matters a little bit. We'll never get to Achilles' tower with those Warhorns on his side.
No, we definitely won't. Our spellbooks are gone, and they are not entry-level monsters. But our new friend here can do it.
Oh, that's an excellent idea I just had. Wizard, go fight Warhorns until they surrender. I'll stay here and protect the others.
Thanks.
Yep. Now, there's an easy way to,
Hey, another problem with Warhorns. One of them stole something from me when we were captured, something very difficult to replace. My maze book. Minotaurs guard labyrinths, you see, so they said they can't let me finish those mazes. So if you happen to be fighting them anyway, could you get it back for me? Thanks.
Yeah, and there's actually 3 quests here that if you do...
General Achilles ain't the only Cyclops to go rogue. Notorious criminal Ius Maximus is lurking on this street as well. Stole the legendary Thunder Hammer, he did. Not that legendary Thunderhammer. I mean the sculpture made by famous artist Pablo C. Thunder. It's worth more than I make in a decade, and that lanky lame brain is probably using it to drive nails. He's likely just backing his old hideout down the street. Mind taking a look for me? If he's there, I'll get some guards to back you up.
So, all 3 of these quests can actually be completed at once. And it is insanely crazy.
Ah, excellent. I can rework the enchanted metal of that armor into something even Sweeney can't break. And a lining made from those coats will provide a superior fit and comfort for the guard on the go. And done. Easy work when you have the right materials. Go take this armor to Private Sweeney. Tell him if he ruins this set, he needs to stop turning down all those promotions and take a desk job.
And we'll go through and we'll talk to Sweeney. Yeah. So,
Hey, Rand said I should take a desk job. No, that ain't me. I'm a man of action, I am. And now, thanks to you, I'm dressed for the part. Thanks, wizard.
And then he gets a nice new repaired tunic that's even better. I get myself my own, which increases my health by 33. Alright, so we go to Ice Tower. The interesting thing about this is if you accept all 3 of these quests, you can go over here and you team up 3. And then you just kind of max it out. And, you know, this is 100% guide. This is permadeath, so I can't personally guide, but I'm allowed to team up. It's no big deal. But you team up for 3, and you go through, and it's like, okay. He's going to have a little trouble there. You go through, and once you got people joining in, which we can go through and actually do some other quests while we're waiting, that'll kind of save some time. Let's go talk to Harold Argleson in the comments.
You say you are returning a book that someone dropped? You are quite a good sport to take time out of your day to do that. Thank you for doing that. Oh, hang on there. This book does not belong to the library. Inside the cover it states property of Sabrina Greenstar. She probably dropped it on her way to the fairgrounds. You best give it to her yourself.
Yeah, that entire quest, actually, this entire quest here, sets up the go talk to the Golem Court for Golem Tower. So we'll end up over by Regina Flame Talon. And it's not bad. I mean, we're only 2 quests away from beating Cyclops Lane.
You are returning the book I left on a bench? I didn't have one with me today. Maybe I lost it last week. Oh, that book. I gave that one to Regina for her to use as research for a science project. She's just inside Golem Court if you want to give it back to her.
I left my book on a bench? What book?
Her eyes get big when you hand her the book.
Oh, yes! This has all the notes I was taking on my science project. I'm sure glad you found this. It was a lot of work for me. Thank you ever so much.
Yep, and that sets up the entire Golem Tower. And then that actually levels me
I
up
see
to level
you've
7.
been studying. Come see me for a new assignment.
And this is what you can do while you're just waiting for team up. And this is the only dungeon that isn't main quest that I actually recommend you team up, and only at this point. If you do it anywhere else, it kind of doesn't really work that well. I mean, you can beat any of these dungeons. I could go in there and I could beat it right now, but level 7, I think that's Unicorn. Okay, yep. And then bam. And then we can actually wait since we're in team up, and that means anybody can join at any time. And there's no real point of starting a new quest dialogue if I'm not going to be able to listen to it. But what we can do is we can head over to Unicorn Way. Now, 16, not enough for Frog. Frog's at 22. But, yeah.
Stupid hammer! Throw thunder! Yeah! Hey, who are you? Can you make this thunder hammer do thunder? No? Then you're no use to me.
Now, it may seem like we aren't able to beat this fight, but it's relatively simple. I'm a healer, so I do believe... That is insane. But yeah, I'm a healer and it should be no issue for me to keep us alive. Minor Blessing. Yeah, he's a Storm secondary. I will just... I'll Minor Blessing me because I'm losing a bit more health. And then I'll go through and Leprechaun the boss. Yeah. So it may look like we're actually we're doing really well. You know, this guy's almost dead. I'm pretty sure Ellie's gonna finish him off. If this actually hits, it's a guaranteed kill. Yep, and then Ellie's finishing that off. Then I'm gonna do some decent damage to the boss. Yeah. But, so, as for difficulty, it's really not that bad. And the reason why you always team up for 3 here is because it gives you 3 Warhorns as minions to fight, and that's all you need. 3 Warhorns will completely finish all 3 of these quests. You'll get both maze books 90% of the time. You'll get... I'll go ahead and heal him. Yeah, and he'll finish off the Is that 1 HP? That's insane. And that's GG. Now, you'll be level 18 before you leave Wizard City. So these guys are probably still in Wizard City, just doing their own thing.
You know, if this Thunder Hammer actually worked, you wouldn't have beaten me. So fine, take it to Emerson. Let these guys arrest me. I'll be back. Nothing can escape the all-seeing eyes.
Yeah, and so yeah, that actually allowed me to complete all 3 quests. So I go back and I go here. Let's talk to Rosie.
Thank you. And see, it says right on the front, Maze Book, not labyrinths, no guarding necessary. Silly warhorns.
Yeah. I'll grab that real quick. Then we go over here, talk to Private Emerson.
I heard we arrested Ius Maximus thanks to you. How'd I hear? Messenger grackles. Standard practice, really. I'll take this work of art back to Pablo Thunder. He's been real emotional about it. Creative types, right?
And then Romulus. So Achilles Tower.
I saw you defeat the Warhorns, Wizard. But can you defeat Achilles himself? I hope so. He just hasn't been the same since that undead monster came in. I'll be honest with you. It scares me, Wizard. Someone needs to save General Achilles from himself. Can you do it? Then go inside, and good luck.
Now, this is a very important dungeon. So, you can usually just team up, and I run team up on this because a lot of people farm it still. Yeah, like I'm gonna get 3 max level storms in this. And the reason why people farm this one is because it drops a decent wand. It's a storm-based wand, so it's perfect for my life wizard because it gives me a decent attack. And then you can go through, and the wand itself is great. I don't know the drop rates on it. I don't think it's ever been confirmed. Specifically what the drop rates are, but
my choice.
It was mine. No, down here, near the ground. Yes, me. Fear me.
Oh.
For I am a prince of Darkmoor. Cursed to be a bunny. Beaten by a vampire. Then trapped between physical and spiritual planes. I am a ghostly vampire bunny. And I once tried to control Wizard City with my hypnotic gaze. Alas, I was sealed in a cage with the other undead. But Malice there destroyed our prison, sent us to cause chaos. And then his brother provided an easily swayed army of trolls and cowards. Sadly, yours is too keen an intellect to fall for my diabolical cuteness. So instead, sit down, General!
Yeah, so with 3 maxes, you usually they can 1-turn hit. But due to the fact that we're doing 100% guide walkthrough, we're just going through, and I asked them to wait for me. Yeah. Now, one thing I don't like though is if you're 180 or you're max level helping out somebody else, the common courtesy is to wait for them to get into the battle, and they don't do that. So it's just quite annoying when that happens. But I mean, what can you do? You know, you just have to go through and get back into it. You know. Luckily, we only have to listen to it once.
So you brought Achilles to heal. Doesn't matter. As long as my influence remains over Cyclops Lane, I will never fade.
He's right, you know. His thralls keep him tethered to the physical world. But if he lost them, he'd fade back to the nexus twixt life and death. I'm telling you this because I never liked that bunny. I took Cyclops Lane as a distraction from Malister's plan, whatever that is. We Cyclops are an honorable people, and I was honor-bound to Malister for saving my life from a rogue optometrist. Now, I'm honor-bound to you. The Great One sees the watching eyes, our security system, turning them into hypno-eyes to lull all the minions on the street, all at once. Even now, these crystal balls maintain his bewitching gaze. Destroy them, and his influence over this street will dissipate.
Yeah, so I think I might go through
This isn't the end of me, Wizard. I'll be back. Ours will be a rivalry for the ages. You'll see. One day, the Great One will return!
He probably won't return, and his thrall should slowly return to normal. I vow I will honor my word and restore order to this street.
Yeah. So before we read that, General Achilles drops the wand called the Volt Blade. It's this decent wand that gives a pip. It's level 15, which you will reach level 15 before you go through and finish Wizard City, especially if you're doing 100% guide, as I'm doing 100% guide. So, or 100% playthrough, as I'm showing you guys the 100% guide and going through everything.
In its most rarefied form, myth is the magic of the mind, the energy of thought and imagination. But in its current application, the myth school is relatively young, relying as it does on fables and legends that needed first to be written. Conjuration was discovered by a bard named Jack Stanley Kane, who sang a troll song so well, the troll came to life and attacked the audience. The performance received mixed reviews, but the monster summoning was embraced by everyone, from tyrants to toddlers, and remains in practice today.
So that's an interesting little tidbit fact on Myth School. Myth School is... See, a lot of these schools are like well-defined, but Myth School is actually still in its younger stages because it has not yet quite gone through and done straight thought form imagination conjuring. I feel like for an RPG that's okay, but in reality, a lot of myth spells we see would be vastly different. And the Bolt Blade, when I finish Wizard City, I'll go through and do a farming stream. One of the places we will be farming is Achilles Tower, so be sure to stop by for that. And I, of course, will have the links in the description. Oh, I should have just taken the teleporter. I don't know why I didn't. So yeah, we go through and we go back, and now there's more quests. Which is...
Hey, when the Manic Myth minions grabbed us, they also stole our spellbook so we couldn't fight back. Smart move, really. Otherwise, they'd have to deal with all this raw awesome. Or, rawsome, as I sometimes call myself. Anyways, I heard the Warhorns saying they buried our books somewhere around here. No idea where, but I have a plan to find out. The gnarly thing is, though, I'd need a pet. They have the mucho sensorinos, yo, and could sniff out the missing spellbooks, right? You got a pet, right, my whiz? Want to send it out to search Cyclops Lane to find our buried spellbooks?
Before the Cyclopes went mad, there was going to be a Then Fair. You know, everyone in fancy dress pretending to live in the past. That's what these tents were for, but I guess they barely started setting up before everything went off the rails. Then Fair is one of my all-time favorite events of the year. Can you convince some merchants in the shopping district it's safe to return? Ask Victor Darkwood about costumes, Lloyd Fallingwater about stands, and Pierre Gallantmain about prizes.
Okay. And then last
The
but not least...
trolls and warhorns seem more docile now. I take it that means we were successful in defeating General Achilles?
More like this wizard was successful, bro. Doesn't look like you moved an inch since you got us captured.
It looks like somebody's learning sirens in the background.
No, let's not point fingers. We succeed and fail as a team. And I will report our success to Professor Drake as such. A team effort.
Whatever you say, Nolan. Wizard, you should head back to Sergeant Muldoon in Old Town and tell him Cyclops Lane is under control.
Okay, so as for the final quests in Cyclops Lane, you would think that there is a actual quest. So there's this, right? Which this is about pet. Now, play as pet is 5 happiness per minute, and you can go through and you can just become your pet. And you go through and you can see a bunch of things that other normal wizards can't. Oh, that person's running a Bengal tiger. When you're in your house or dormitory, you can play as pet and you can just sit around as your pet. It costs no happiness. And then you go through, and that's actually very useful, especially if you have a public house set up to where it can be kind of like a little get-together for people in the know. I have one currently. I do have one. It's an interesting house, to say the least. But it is available to
You found all
if
the
you can find it.
spellbooks? Oh, rock. Wait for it. Wait for it. On. They're a bit on the dirty side, but that's nothing a Tempest spell can't solve. Many thanks, my whiz. And tell the undead to watch out, because Captain Rossum is back.
Yeah. And then you go through, this, Fare Thee Well, is technically the last quest in Cyclops Lane. However, it spans multiple areas, so actually talking to these people before accepting the Rings of Power quest is what I consider the last quest in Cyclops Lane to be. So we'll go through, and it's actually perfect timing. An hour just to get through, like, Cyclops Lane, and that's going through and reading all the quest dialogue.
General Achilles is backing down? Good. Then maybe he can do the job he promised to do and maintain order on Cyclops Lane. Though it may take a while with all the creatures roaming around there now. Good work all the same, wizard.
Yeah. And that'll give us hallowed robes. Alright, so we'll go through and we will talk to Victor Darkwood.
Welcome to Darkwood's Apparel Barrel, where... Oh, it's you. Did Cyrus complain about his laundry? Figures. You want me to provide costumes for the then fair, huh? Well, I do enjoy making those old-timey clothes. Nice change of pace. But I heard about all the problems on Cyclops. Oh, you handled it. Well, look at you. Sure then, I'll make them then costumes.
Yep. So once we finish talking to those two more people, then that's what I consider the end of Cyclops Lane B. And the Rings of Power quest.
Welcome, customers, to Do or DIY, where your home is your castle if you build it yourself.
I would like to do this.
Ah, the Then Fair is back on? Great! I'll start chopping the wood and forging the nails I'll need to build the merchant stands post-haste.
This is something I'd like to do. I would love to go through, because you can actually buy it. You can buy open space right here. I thought you could get it for gold. I remember you being able to grab one for gold. Oh. Must have been a sale. I think I might have one laying around. And I would like to go through and build my own house. I think it would be fun. I used to have it on my old account. I do know that. I had the Azteca housing gauntlet or whatever. The housing space with the toucan pet and the weird, like, Triceratops armor.
Buy something and then quickly depart my presence.
The power is ours.
The Then Fair? That silly little harlequinade of infants and imbeciles dressed as cavemen or something equally regressive? Oui, I can participate. Alas, my prize rings have been stolen. The rings do fire, ice, wind, dirt, and the fifth one. But I care not for it. I spit on its name. Pity. The guards, such as they are, found the thieves in houses on Unicorn Way, Triton Avenue, Cyclops Lane, and the Dark Cave. If you wish prizes for the Then Fair, recover those rings and take them to the girl who sent you.
Yep. So I consider that to be a entire another area that we will cover it under. Yeah, it's not a useful one. And I will be covering it when I do Sunken City. So that's a Sunken City type deal. And I'll do Sunken City, the powers ours, when I do not Harvest Lord, Falgaze and Lord Nightshade. And that'll be its own episode. So thank you all so much for watching. That was Cyclops Lane in the 100% guide. It was a little bit not as communicative this episode, mainly because it's so early and I'm still trying to wake up, but I wanted to get this done before I had to go into work. And yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.